salute to, and speaking of hip hop legends, like I said, we got a lot of hip hop to talk about. Lauryn Hill, the literal queen of hip hop and R&B, IMO. Now, while that is what I view them as, and will always view them as, some people in this day and age know Lauryn Hill for still being a like super talented and worldwide like international superstar, iconic, whatever word you want to assign to that legend in the hip hop community. But you can do that and still maybe not be on time. Yeah, it's just become a meme throughout like the last like I just feel like it's been a few years at this point where like people and you just keep hearing these repeated stories of like people going to the Lauryn Hill concerts and they're there on time and Lauren ain't. And I don't know if this is the first time that they've spoken up on this. I know that there was like a clip that surfaced around of Lauren like going back and forth with somebody. They were like arguing with somebody, and they were like, yeah, they weren't happy about it. But this seems to be like, if you want their official stance on the matter, I think this might be it. Um, I'll let it play, but the headline, not the headline, but the post also speaks about one of the sentiments she's about to say. So we'll hear it. And it's a minute because she also goes into how she kind of viewed her career in general. So maybe we'll pause it and kind of dissect it, but you can play a bit. I do like to let things kind of play out until you get the full context, but also we want to not let things fully drag. But go ahead and start to play it.
Say, hey, yeah, she's late. She's late a lot. Yo, y'all lucky I make it on this blood rise stage every night. But I don't do it because they let me do it. I do it because I stand here in the name of God, and I do it. God is the one who allows me to do it, who surrounded me with family and community. When there was no support, when the album sold so many records, and no one showed up and said, hey, would you like to make another one? So I went around the world and I played the same album over and over and over and over again. Because we're the survivors. And we're not just the survivors, we're the thrivers.
Man, salute to Lauryn Hill. I'm always gonna say that. Although this is just me kind of picking the holes in things, being me. I don't believe for a good minute that nobody tried to get another Lauryn Hill album. Especially when you kind of listen to some of the things that Lauren has said throughout her career. I Again, I don't want to get too conspiracy theory on something that really has anything to do with the price of rice in China, but like I feel as if people wanted that, they just wanted them to go in a direction that they didn't want to. Would probably be more along the lines of the story. But anyway, that's nothing to do with anything. The moral of the story is she acknowledges it. She knows that it's a recurring topic of conversation, and at this point, she don't really care. She says that we should be even glad that she's on that. We're lucky to even see her on that stage. And I'm interested to hear what y'all think because y'all are more interested in concerts and shows than I am. Yeah, what do you think of her sentiments? Do you think that when it comes to like artists or maybe even certain artists that we perceive to be legends that they do they should be afforded this type of grace as we're not maybe not lucky to see them there, but it is like an honor to some degree. And is there any artist or entertainer that you would accept them not being punctual? We'll start with you, Ace. What do you think?
Man, nah, I was on her side right up and talking. Like, as somebody who struggles with punctuality, I I can understand being late to things. I can understand other people being late to things. But to justify it, to try to justify it, No, no, like I would never, and I don't think anybody else should try to. Like you acknowledge that you're late, you apologize, and you try to do better, and you move on. You don't try to justify it. Like
Now
I don't.
hold on just a gosh darn second. If you were about you were going to a meeting, right, and it was with someone super important, someone super influential, like a billionaire basically, and you were going to go have a sit down with them, which actually we're supposed to have a Jay Z uh, conversation, Jay Z dinner conversation coming up. But anyway, you were going to have a meeting with them, and you were so highly anticipating that meeting, but then they came a bit late. You would be pissed.
I would be pissed if they tried to write me off and give me a whole diatribe about how legendary they are, and that's why they're late. Like, no, dude.
So even but is them trying to explain that to you, or is it the fact that or is it true? There's some truth to it though.
What? Listen, if you're late, if you're late, you can say why you're late. That's fine. You know, that's for me to be like, oh, it's no problem. But not again, not tell me about how much of a legend you are and you want to make another album. Like, what is all this? You were late, dog.
But no, I'm
Like you
trying
could
to.
you could have a good excuse too. Like you got into an accident, your dog died, something like crazy stuff could happen that makes you late. That could make the other person be like, oh, it's not a
No,
problem at all, and you completely understand it. And it doesn't even have to be that crazy. But
well, you can't have a crazy
again,
excuse every time. She's consistently late.
yeah, you see, like, and then you double down. No,
But the thing is, what I was trying to ask is like, do you take issue with them trying to rationalize it, or the fact, but it still exists though, right? Like we agree they're legend.
oh my gosh. Um, I take issue with them trying to rationalize it. Yes, I don't care if you're a legend. That doesn't excuse the fact that you're late.
But it does, don't it?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
That's not a
okay, all
reason for
right,
being late.
all
A
right.
reason
I
for
just want
being
clarity on
late,
that. My bad.
your plane had issues, your Uber, like that's reasons for being late. Not you're a legend. What?
Okay, all right. I just tell me how you feel. Go. So what do you
All
think
right.
about
Well,
Lauryn?
I I'm not on her side. I've never been on her side. And some of your logic here, I know you're playing not devil's advocate in this case, but it's there's a whole bunch of flaws in it. For one, well, the very first thing is that if you're a legend and you're famous, you have like less reason for being late than anyone else because you got private planes, you got money to pay, but that's kind of beside the point. So she has a history of being late. At this point, everyone kind of knows that.
Yeah,
But when you're late to every single show, it's not something where like stuff does come up and it could happen multiple times. But when you're late every single time, it's it just becomes about not respecting other people's like you set the time like you're the one that sets the time. Okay, you're coming at this time and you're late, hour late, 2 hours late every single time. And she doesn't, a lot of the times, she doesn't play like a full set. I've read up on stories where she'll do like a few
yeah.
songs and then walk
Why you gotta
off.
dig up her dirt? This is not about Lauren. This is about the legends.
Well,
Even though you're right.
let Lauren want to make it about her. So, and the, when she says, "You're lucky that I make it on the stage every night," dog, you pay. Like these aren't free concerts. People are paying money to go to these concerts. So it's not where like she's not obligated. Yet she is obligated. You're paying money for a service or for a performance. You you want to see the performance. Like that's not something that's out of the realm of possible. That's crazy to ask for. If you pay for something, you expect that thing. And if it was a few times, one or two times that she wasn't on time, she was a little late, it's fine. But it seems like I don't want to say she takes pride in it, but she's spiteful about it. In some of her
What
recent features, she's brought it up, and
what if
it comes off
what
as
if in
like,
her mind the price that you're paying doesn't necessarily justify like you being able to get me on time, right on time, front and center? What if like
Well,
what if they view it as like, okay, you paid to come see me, and you'll come see me when I get there?
if she thinks that way, then it's bullshit because you could, if you think your time is that valuable, you could charge more. And again, you're,
They don't necessarily have a one-to-one impact. I mean, decision on that, but I see your point.
I mean, I get she again, like you don't, she doesn't have the whole, she can't decide all the prices, but if you're accepting the price that people are charging, then don't complain about it. And if you think that they're justified to come when you're justified to come whenever, then don't set a time that you're going to arrive at the concert. Like how if you're late every single time, how difficult is it to say this is a 10 p.m. concert instead of an 8 p.m. concert or something like that? Like if you're consistently late, it becomes about just not respecting people versus something came up. So I'm not on her side. Never be on her side.
Well, you're bringing up literal facts, by the way. About how it could damage the quality of the show, and how you are, paying for a service, and you should get that. When we talk about respect, in essence, we could ask like who deserves more respect in this equation, the legend or the consumer. Like
That's
I
that's
think
that's a
I
BS
think y'all
argument.
not putting respect
Nah,
on
nah, nah,
our
nah, nah.
legends.
So because she's a legend because she makes great music, that makes her better than other people.
I don't want to get that. I'm not saying
Her
that,
content more
but
valuable.
I think that can be true. Not the thing that Ghost said, even though that is that really what it would
Her
boil
time is
down to.
more valuable than the hundreds of people. Like you
It's
know
not
for a
even
fact
about
the
that. Her time
hundreds of
may be more
people.
valuable
Don't
than the
don't
average.
repeat it back to me. Like
But
yes, certain people time is more valuable. Is Jay Z time not more valuable than
sure, that's
the
fine.
consumer
But
that goes and
again,
sees him?
if your time is that
I can't
valuable,
seem to
don't
keep track
schedule a
of it.
concert. If your time is that valuable that you can't show up on time, don't show up at all. Do the other stuff that makes your time so valuable. When you start charging people to attend your show and to watch you perform, that's a transaction that you signed off on. So once you do that, you can't flip it around and say, "Oh, my time is so valuable, and if I'm late, then you got to deal with it." Then just don't charge people. Is that simple? If you're so valuable, if you have so much stuff going on, then do that instead of charging for a concert that you're not going to show up on time, perform on time, and give people their money's worth. It's that simple.
We're also talking like the people she's talking to are her fans, like literally her fans. It's not like she's just saying this
Who
to.
seem to be on board, but how are you going yourself with the fact they weren't booing her? Let's just be clear.
So why is this a story? Everybody's on board. Then
Well,
what
clearly
are we
not everyone's
talking about?
clearly not everyone's on board.
What are we talking about? Not everybody in that crowd was cheering. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's like you're reprimanding the people who are most your fans. They paid to see you. Like it's just yeah. You're making me mad at Lauren Hill. Like I don't know why we're doing this.
The problem is you guys are bringing up the logical, I guess, the transaction. You need to, provide the service that you say you're gonna do. But I don't know why you guys aren't giving some grace. And again, we're honing in on Lauren because she's
People
probably
that give her grace is why she
the
continues to
big.
do this.
This is true. While she's probably one of the bigger offenders of this. Take your favorite artist, just swap them in with this, and then is it gonna still be an issue? Lie. Go on here and lie.
If my favorite artist does this consistently,
Right.
like again, I'm fine with the artist being late to a show every once in a while, as long as it's not a consistent thing. But if they always do it, hell yeah, I'm not going to their shows. Like simple. I'm
Man,
not wasting my time.
this sound like cap.
It's not cap, dog. Are you? I'm telling you, if
It's not
Flying
hard to
Lotus,
not
my
go to
favorite artist, if
shows. Like
Flying Lotus was coming to I don't know some spot near me, and I knew his track record,
I
I knew what he was
just
known for,
I just
I
feel as
would
if
not
that
go.
means y'all
I'm
don't
telling you,
appreciate.
that's not cap. That's real. I would not go.
I just
I ain't
feel
dealing
as
with
if
that.
y'all don't really appreciate these artists. Then
You're telling me I don't appreciate dog. I go to more concerts than anyone here, so you don't tell me that I don't appreciate the artists.
that's what I'm
But
saying, and they can't be a little late.
I didn't say that. Again, if it's a one-time thing, it's not a consistent thing, I am okay with waiting. I'm not gonna be super happy, but I'm not gonna be pressed about it. Like if I show up with the show, it's supposed to start at 8. They start at 9:30 or something. I'm like, damn, that's a long
9:30 is
time to wait.
wild. I was talking about like 10 minutes.
Do you know that she's known for coming like hours late, multiple
Yeah,
hours.
sometime it
And
really be
I
like an
mean,
hour.
I've had at a couple concerts where the artist takes hour plus beyond where they were supposed to come
Which what do
out.
you do? You just stand in the crowd and you wait.
Basically, yep,
See, that's why I don't
yep.
be going. That's why y'all better than me. If I'm in that crowd for an hour waiting for the artist, I'm leaving.
Who doesn't appreciate them? Yeah, but
uh,
again, if it's a one time thing, it's it's a one time thing. But if it's consistent, I'm not going. And if I do go and it happens and I hear this, I'm gonna be pissed.
For me, I think it was more the justification. Like that's just the justification.
yeah, obviously at the end of the
Audacity.
day, yeah, there's a lot of audacity, there's a lot of gall to try to justify this. And yeah, the only leg that I can see that they can stand on is didn't you see the pain and passion in her voice? She's obviously a person that's been
If
through.
she's that passionate, then she'll show up earlier.
Man, she's been through the fire just like Kanye. Um, and I think that we should give her some grace, or
Nope.
stop
I
going to
don't think she should get.
or
Again,
stop going to
I'm
her
not. I'm
shows.
not trying to be insensitive because I know she's had a lot going on, and I'm
No,
sure
I'm
she
just
has.
I'm just joking at this point. Like I said, you guys are.
Passion made it worse for
Don't
me. It's like
charge.
it's almost
Don't
like a
charge me.
child trying to justify themselves. It's like, no, you're in the wrong. Why are you getting mad at other people? You're the problem.
I think that's what I kind of appreciate about this. I like a nice double down, like stand on it, stand on business, even when you're dead ass wrong. uh, Salute to Lauren. Hey man, you get what you pay for. That's what I always say.
Unless you attend a Lauryn Hill concert.
Uh, but if there's nothing else, we can move on to I believe the last. Just be a little over 2.